Am I wrong for refusing to change the holiday menu for my brother's diet and then telling him not to come? This year, I-27M was in charge of hosting our family's big holiday dinner. I'm currently attending culinary school, and I was excited to put my skills to the test. I took on the responsibility of preparing the main dishes: roast chicken, mashed potatoes and stuffing, while delegating side dishes like desserts and salads to other family members. A couple of days before the event, my younger brother Jake 24M called me and casually mentioned that he assumed I was already planning to, but he wanted to double-check that I was making the entire meal gluten-free. He recently adopted a gluten-free diet for personal health reasons, and this was his first major holiday since making the change. I told him that no, I wasn't planning to make everything gluten-free. However, there were already plenty of dishes he could eat, and he was more than welcome to bring anything additional he wanted. I even assured him that I'd be careful about cross-contamination with any gluten-free dishes, so he could enjoy the meal without concern. Jake was frustrated and said that it wouldn't be that difficult for me to modify everything, like using gluten-free flour in the gravy and rolls. He argued that it was a simple switch and it wasn't fair for him to have limited options while everyone else got to enjoy the meal. I explained that since we had a large group coming, many of whom weren't used to gluten-free substitutes, I wanted to stick to traditional recipes, so everyone would enjoy the meal. Some substitutions might slightly change the texture or taste, and I wanted to focus on cooking what I knew best. I also pointed out that certain dishes like stuffing wouldn't work as well without regular bread. Jake got even more upset and brought up how no one had an issue when he served only gluten-free food at his birthday dinner a few months ago. He also mentioned how years ago, when our cousin's wife, who has a dairy allergy, attended, we made sure there were dairy-free options for her. I reminded him that his birthday was his event, so of course he had full control over the menu. As for our cousin's wife, she had brought her own alternative dish to share, and we still had regular versions of everything for everyone else. I once again reassured him that he was welcome to bring any gluten-free dish he wanted, and that I had no problem making sure there were some options he could enjoy. At that point he ended the call, and I assumed we had reached an understanding. Later that day, however, I discovered that Jake had gone into our family's shared event list, where we all signed up for dishes, and privately messaged several relatives asking them to make sure their dishes were also gluten-free. I only found out because my aunt texted me asking if she could use regular flour in her homemade bread or if it had to be gluten-free. Confused, I asked why she was concerned about it, and she forwarded me the message Jake had sent her. I was upset. Instead of just bringing his own dish or discussing things with me directly, he had taken it upon himself to try and change everyone's contributions without telling me. At that point I texted him telling him that if he couldn't respect how I was handling the meal, it might be better if he didn't come at all. He ended up skipping dinner, and now a few days later I'm feeling guilty. Some family members think I should have just adjusted the menu to accommodate him, while others say he overstepped. Was I wrong here?